You're watching Pulse for the 14th of December, and it's time for some World of Warcraft news. In this week's episode, we take a look at the impending Feast of Winter Veil, yet more patch 4.3 hotfixes and all the extras that came with them, the possibility of account-wide mounts with Mists of Pandaria, a few looking for raid loot changes, the latest Dev Watercooler post, seeing the forest for the talent trees, 12 days of smack talking and more. Let's get to it. Before jumping into the regular World of Warcraft news, I thought I'd just mention that the Feast of Winter Veil begins tomorrow. Yes, the 15th of December. There is obviously a lot of stuff to be done for everyone playing right now, and this runs all the way through to the 2nd of January. The guys over at WoW have a pretty useful guide up, as they always do, so if you want to do any of those achievements, find any of those items, or just give a gift to a friend, then you better get to it. We're going to start the normal World of Warcraft news off with the latest set of hotfixes. These were for December the 12th. The biggest changes in these hotfixes? Most definitely the nerfs. It seems like the Dragon Soul raid may well have been a little bit too difficult. Your Sarge's health pool has been reduced by 10% on 25-man heroic difficulty, and the health pools for Burning Tendons, Corrupted Blood, Corruption, and Hideous Amalgamation have been reduced by 6 to 11% for 25-man raids. This is for both normal and heroic difficulty though. I don't really need to tell you that that's quite a lot of health. We're talking in the millions here. There were a few other Dragon Soul changes, and yes, more nerfs for a lot of the bosses too. You can have a look at them all below. And then a couple of other notable changes. The mass regeneration effect for the Druid tier 13 bonus now only heals 25%, down from 50%. For Paladins, Holy Radiance should now stack properly with other Paladins' Holy Radiance, with all valid targets nearby being properly healed. And for Warriors, Bladestorm will now properly apply its immunities to spell effects that are in flight when Bladestorm is active. Lastly, the Darkmoon Zeppelin should no longer be converted to a Horde Balloon during an Alliance to Horde faction change. You can, as always, see those full patch notes below. But now, onto some more interesting news. The guys and girls from over at Blizzard have let us know about and officially applied some interesting 4.3 looking for raid loot changes. There were some posts about this, and a lot of people were noticing some changes with their items. Changes like they couldn't actually equip them anymore. Some items were recently reclassified, so you may find yourself in possession of one of those items and you'll no longer be able to use it. Blizzard let us know that if you recently replaced an item with one of these items and you can no longer use the item that did the replacing, then you should be able to get assistance with that. You should be able to get your old item restored. So as you can see on your screens right now, there are a lot of items that were reclassified, and in my opinion I think it's a really good thing that they've got these restrictions on the items. I mean, in pugs, you never really know if the loot's going to go to the right player, and you never really know if players know what they actually should be rolling on. So this might well help the newer players out, and it might well stave off those greedy guys who just roll on absolutely everything. We'll have to wait and see how it works. I have actually yet to test it myself. You can read more about this and see those full item lists below. Next, a very quick mention. I wish it was more than just that, but hey, it's still pretty interesting. Apparently Blizzard are going to be testing out account-wide features with pet battles that are coming with the introduction of Mists of Pandaria, and if this proves to be successful, then they may even consider doing the same thing with mounts. That means that we might be seeing account-wide mounts soon, and that sounds like a really, really good deal to me. The main attraction for something like this is if you've got a super rare mount on one of your characters, but then you decide to play on a different character instead, you might well be able to use that mount on both your characters. So that's pretty cool. You guys can let me know what you think about this. I honestly can't wait, and I'm also super keen for those pit battles. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Now we're gonna have a talk about the latest Coffee with the Devs or Dev Watercooler post. This one was once again written by Ghostcrawler himself. So Ghostcrawler starts off by letting us know that they recently got a lot of feedback about their crazy, exciting and scary talent overall coming in Mists of Pandaria. So that said, apparently they want even more feedback on these proposed changes. Some of the points that Ghostcrawler covers here is that the new system or the new talent tree is giving us a lot fewer choices overall, but it's also making sure that the choices actually matter. Simplifying things like this has been something that Blizzard's been working towards over the past few years, away from the cookie cutter builds and non-choice choices, as he calls it. He even says that they tried the talent tree model for 7 years now and they think it's fundamentally flawed and unfixable. So I guess it's a pretty big thing for Blizzard to admit something like that because, hey, they are actually the ones that have been working on it and developing it for 7 years. Anyway, I can think of a lot of other games that use similar designs to World of Warcraft's current talent trees. One that comes to mind immediately is obviously Star Wars: The Old Republic. They've got very similar talent trees. I'm wondering if they think that the talent tree system is flawed too. We'll have to wait and see about that one. But overall, I would say that this is a pretty interesting read, especially if you're one of the people that didn't really like these new talent trees, if you thought they were too simple looking. I personally think they're going to be great. I honestly like the fact that every talent that I'm going to be choosing is going to actually mean something, even if I get them slightly less often. But again, I will say that this is something we're going to have to actually see in practice to know if it's going to work or not. So if you are interested, you can check this full article out over at the official World of Warcraft community site and enjoy. As a quick related extra, the official Mists of Pandaria talent calculator has been updated and a couple of the classes got major updates to their skills. Mages, warriors and priests were apparently amongst those that got significant updates, and other classes got minor ones too, so have a look at that if you're interested. Next, and pretty much last up before heading into the smalls, here we have some machinima, and this isn't actually just World of Warcraft machinima, this is Star Wars: The Old Republic and World of Warcraft machinima, and this is actually just in time for Christmas. It's a parody of 12 Days of Christmas with a lot of smack talking involved. It's a rap battle of sorts between a Star Wars Old Republic player and a World of Warcraft player. It's incredibly epic, and I gotta say the guys from Gamebreaker TV definitely outdid themselves. Sadly, it's not right here on YouTube, but you can find a link to it below, and I will warn you that there's some strong language in it. With that done, let's head on over to the World of Warcraft smalls. First up in the smalls, have a look at a couple of art gallery updates. Then you can watch the Race to World First documentary free for a limited time. Check a new guide from the guys over at Wowhead, this one titled Nimble Fingers, a guide to acquiring Fangs of the Father. Then read 5 things that World of Warcraft can learn from Star Wars: The Old Republic. Pretty interesting. Have a look at some jaw-dropping Tauren cosplay. Check the latest trade chat video out, this one covering yet more pop culture references in World of Warcraft. Then have a look at the latest WoW Krendor piece, How to Win at Pugs 2. Watch the WoW Insider weekly news update for December the 9th. You can experience the Dragon Soul raid in under a minute in this full guide from Fat Boss. Also right here on YouTube you can watch Inner Sanctum kill Heroic Warmaster Blackhorn and Blood Legion kill Heroic Ultraxion. Lastly in the smalls, watch Swifty duel against a rank 1 Shadow Priest. Sadly, that's all I have for you in the World of Warcraft news. You can have a look at a couple of blue posts below as well if you're interested, but I'll leave that up to you. Remember to like the video, favorite it, share it with your friends and subscribe. Most importantly though, happy Mists of Pandaria talent trees.